How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Chainsaw Man Volume 7. As always, I really do like this book, and this is a really good volume that kind of pulls you into the next plot arc. Basically, to the midway point of Volume 5 was the first season of the anime, and then the tail end of 5 and then 6 kind of was its own sudden big adventure, and I believe that's going to be the Chainsaw Man movie. So here we're setting out on the next major plot arc. We get to see Denji cross paths with a bunch of different people. Basically, it's getting out that Chainsaw Man is in Japan, and a bunch of other countries kind of want Denji for themselves, and that's going to lead into this big all-out war between several different devil hunters, and we get to see lots of people coming in from other areas of Japan to try to help him, as well as all these different groups of foes. And there are some really interesting characters. Some of these groups do different things than you might expect them to do, and there really is big, intense moments in there. And also, a ton of new powers. There's a really cool power that leads to them fighting this whole army of things towards the end of the book that I really do like. And it is one of those things that, you know, it does require balance, because right now I really like it. I like seeing all these new things and figuring out ways around them and, you know, new allies and what they might have. But it is a thing that could go too far, you know, having so many different characters with so many different powers. You don't want it to just seem random and hard to follow. And I think so far Chainsaw Man has done a good job of shaking things up enough, keeping us entertained without just doing way too many devils all at once. So overall, I do like this very much. All of a sudden, all these characters show up. A big war is about to happen, but this is kind of the beginning. This is kind of the leading up to that, or at least the first part of the book is. So walking around and being on edge and being tense, it's really cool. So overall, I do like this. This is a fun start to this next big plot arc. And again, though, this is only the first volume of it. A lot of these characters have yet to reveal where they're going or what their point will be, but still fun battles with cool new enemies and lots of fun new characters in this one. Anyway, if you guys want to see me talk in more specifics, I'm going to switch to the close-up camera. I'll show you guys a little bit of the story and a little bit of the art and talk about a few of the plot points. No major spoilers, though, but if you want to see a little more, let's go ahead and switch to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at Chainsaw Man number 7. Right off the bat, got to love that cover. Really cool abstract red-green contrast, but this one has a direct meaning to what's going on in the volume. We see that Denji is in a bind, his hands are tied up, and in between each section is a character representing one of the groups that is going to be after him, the characters that are responsible for him being in a bind. We get to see the spine here, with number 7 in this bright pink, and this character here, I believe her name is pronounced Quan Chi, not 100% sure on that. There she is on the front as well, and of course the spine image will be on the back. And it's kind of odd that she's gray. You see all the spines are taken from a cover within the book. This one is the cover for chapter 60, and we get to see her with the buildings behind her in the full version of this art, but they always color them, but here the only color we get is this purple of her eye, so I'm wondering if that she's supposed to be gray in color in universe. I guess we'll have to wait until we see the anime. I can't wait till season 2, but yeah, that's that. $9.99 US, rated T+, a bit of a description there. And if we crack the book open, we get to see Puchita messing around, Tatsuki Fujimoto, I love Ju-Rei, which parentheses says don't look up. Now I think this was a found footage Japanese film I don't think it ever got over to the States, which is kind of sad because if he's recommending it, I'd really want to see it, but there's a whole bunch of J-horror that never got over here, including like a bunch of Junji Ito movies didn't even get localized, which that kind of sucks. I hope someone starts getting them over here. Anyway, there's the cover page for number 7. We get to see that this book's entitled In a Dream, and there's someone waiting over there looking down at us. Anyway, if we flip to the table of contents, we get to see that In a Dream is, as always, the name of the first chapter, and we collect chapter 53 through 61. Anyway, before that, we do have the characters, and I always like this page, the characters and the previously on. If it's been a little while since you read the last volume, a good previously on is invaluable. And all these character profiles really help me learn all the characters' names. And with all the new characters we're getting in this volume, I think Volume 8's going to have quite a few new pictures. Anyway, after that we get into the story proper. I'm not going to do any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and make sure you guys have a basic understanding as to what this book's about. So, no major spoilers, but let's dig in a little deeper. I do like this image of young Denji in his dreams in this mysterious door, and he hears Puchita's voice beyond it saying, "Whatever you do, don't open up the door." It's a really cool reoccurring dream, but we also get a really fun segment where he wakes up and Meowie's been sleeping with him, and of course Power is going to be super jealous. She had ran away for a while and Meowie had become good friends with Denji, and I always like that it's the person that cares the least, that, well, in that case, you think it'd be Aki that would get the cat, right? But I do like how, you get this power struggle, and Power is actually really funny in this issue. She gets quite a few good bits, including this fun scene where she tries to drive Kobane's car. And I also like that scene actually gets a few extra extended pages as a bonus feature in the back of this volume, which I think is pretty fun. That's always good to see, an extra bonus feature as an incentive for buying the book. But anyway, Makima shows up at the apartment, and she says, "Hey, we have some time off. Let's go on a vacation," and that will help get Denji out of his funk because, of course, Denji's been quite depressed after the events of Volume 6. However, turns out Chainsaw Man is on TV, and the thing is, Makima does her best to keep Chainsaw Man attention away from the public, but that was just way too big, and now everybody knows about him, and that's going to attract people from all over, because Chainsaw Man's a big deal. A lot of non-devil characters are going to go after his heart now, and they have to keep a close eye on Denji. Looks like the vacation will have to be postponed. And I really do like that that's the thing that gets him, not that people are after him, not this whole big deal, but, oh man, my vacation with Makima is delayed. And we do get to see a bunch of these other groups, We get, in America, there's some devil hunters as well. It's these 3 brothers, and they have this thing where they're like, together, we work together, we beat the odds every time, together, we're immortal, and that'll be kind of their chant, and I don't want to spoil it, but these guys do lead to a really big and violent moment later on, and they do have a super strange and special ability. We also get these 2. We see them in the middle of nowhere, and he's hunting this fox, and she's kind of like got control over him, and he's one of those serious and silent characters that's a bit detached from, human emotions. So we really don't get to see too much of them in this book. I'm thinking they're going to come into play much more in the next volume, but we're setting up all the different hunters here. And then after that, we do get one more hunter, the one on the back cover, but her introduction page, I don't think YouTube would like me showing it, so let's find a little more YouTube safe picture of this group from later on in the comic. Here we are. There, so that's Kwanzi, and she has a history of as a devil hunter, and we get a little bit of hints of that at the end. But one of her big things is she's in a polyamorous relationship with 4 different fiends. So it's not just going after her, but going after these 4 girls as well. And we get to see this one is Halloween, and she has this thing where if she says Halloween, she gets people to kind of go into a trance and repeat it. And I'm not sure who these other ones are yet. This one has little horns similar to Power, so I am curious if she'll be a similar type devil. Yeah, I don't know. We, again, are just getting introduced to all these characters. But one thing I do really like is we get this conversation with the old hunter and Makima, and they start to talk about how all dangerous all these other devil hunters are, and how, you know, if various people show up, how various levels of screwed they are. But I like that one thing they represent, one thing they talk about is the one they don't want to show up. Germany's Santa Claus. Yeah, German Santa, much scarier than regular Santa. Although I think he's a human and not a devil, but he is big and threatening, and I do like the idea that Santa Claus, that's something that that's supposed to be innocuous, but turns out he is a big, scary devil hunter who does have a really cool and dangerous ability that you'll get to see later on in this book. Now, obviously, lots of stuff happens. There is a ton of fighting in this book, but I don't want to spoil any of the huge moments, so I won't spoil that. That's like the last half of this book is a ton of action, but I do want to highlight this conversation that Aki has with the Angel Devil. The two of them are talking and eating at this cafe, and the Angel Devil starts to talk about hell. I'd kind of wondered if that would show up, you know, they are devils after all, and he says that the theory is that when you die on Earth, the devils go to hell, and when they die in hell, they come back to Earth. But when you come back, you don't remember who you are. You don't have any memories of hell. However, he's talked to the other devils, and they found out that they all, if they remember anything at all, remember just a few seconds of hell, and that is a brooming sound like a chainsaw going off. That is a super cool, just tiny clue as to what might be going on here. And oh man, that is big hints at some bigger, epicer scale, and I can't wait to see how that pans out. Overall, Chainsaw Man, Volume 7, the start to the next new big plot arc, meeting all these new characters with fun and strange and special abilities. It's fun as always, and I can't wait to see where this all goes. Hopefully Denji does get that vacation, right? Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Chainsaw Man playlist, where you can see my review for all the past volumes of this series, as well as my review for Season 1 of the anime. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.